Well, next week, Democrats on the House Ways and Means Committee are holding a hearing on a bill that would require presidents to release their tax returns. Democrats are also planning to take advantage of a law that allows the chair of the committee, which includes the House Ways and Means Committee and the Senate Finance Committee, to request any individual's tax returns from the Treasury Secretary. But they expect to face a legal challenge from this administration, of course. I'm joined now by David Corn, Washington Bureau Chief of Mother Jones, and former U.S. Attorney Greg Brower. David, first, what do you see the politics of this? How are Richard Neal, who's the new chair of the committee, how are they going to work this thing to get the tax returns of Donald Trump?
It seems to me he has the right, under this law that you just referenced, to make a direct request to the Treasury Department for the tax returns of any American in pursuit of a legitimate inquiry. That would include Donald Trump. There are some people out there saying, why did he not send that request in the day they came into power, the House Democrats? It's clear to me that what he's doing is moving very deliberatively forward. They're going to have hearings next week on this bill that would make it a law that you would have to present your tax returns if you run for president, and sort of examine the issue, examine the potential conflicts of interest that Trump and other presidents might have, and work his way, creating a predicate, a foundation to making that request.
Would that ever get through the Senate, though?
Well, no, it doesn't have to. It goes directly to Mnuchin. And then the issue is whether he will abide by this.
You're talking about passing a law.
Well, no. The law is separate. The law would make it a requirement for other candidates in the future. But the request can come without a law. Richard Neal, the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, could do that tomorrow, and it goes to the IRS and the Treasury Department. And the issue is, would they honor that request, or does it?
Greg, it seems to me, Greg, that the president's lying here. I don't use that word a lot, but he's not being audited. He's not been audited for 3 years. He's just lying. And the question is, when are they going to call us bluff and say, the Congress would say, ask the IRS, is this guy under audit or not? Just get to that preliminary stage.
Right.
To prove he's a liar.
Yeah, as David mentioned, current law does allow the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee in the House or the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee to simply make a request to the IRS. And the statute actually says that the Secretary of the Treasury shall furnish those returns to the committee chair. And so no doubt that will happen. It'll be the Ways and Means chair, of course, who will make that request. The question, as was mentioned, will be, what will the Secretary of the Treasury do? This has never been litigated, so we're in uncharted waters if the request is not complied with.
Right.
And so we'll see.
Well, Mnuchin's not going to do it because he's asked.
Well, then that will likely get into a contempt proceeding, potentially, and litigation.
So they could sue, the Democrats could hold him for contempt, Mnuchin.
Well, perhaps, and they could also put in subpoenas. There are other ways to go. And remember, Trump is out there saying that I've been under audit for 2 or 3 years. Well, we don't know. It's good to find out he's provided no proof of the audit, right? And he could also provide tax returns prior to that period.
You're the reporter. You're the expert on the law. Does Robert Mueller have Donald Trump's tax returns?
I don't think there's any doubt. In my experience as a prosecutor, that experience tells me that there's really no doubt Mueller has those returns. That's right.
David?
Yeah, in fact, the IRS has been asked about this, and they've said it's not that they have, but there would be a legitimate request from a special prosecutor. They would honor it. And there's a lot the tax returns could tell us, but also remember, they're not everything. They won't tell us about all his LOCs and his emoluments from foreign sources. A lot of that money goes to very different channels. It will give us an idea of some of his financial issues, but not even everything.
Well, it got Al Capone, didn't it?
Oh, that was not paying taxes.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.